So anime is a genre of Japanese animation. It's an absolutely huge industry and it's growing larger to this day. Obviously, most anime, if not all anime, is beautiful, with some shining above some others, but how does anime even get created? Like, who draws it, and how do they color it? It seems like a really tough job. Don't worry, I'll explain everything in this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy. Anyways, let's get into it. The process of animating anime is definitely a process. It's one of the harder, if not hardest, forms of animation in the world. Simply put, Japanese animators have a lot of talent. Comparing American cartoons to anime lets you know what I'm getting at. The very beginning of the animation process starts with everything but the actual animating part. The anime production company like Viz Media or Toho Animation will put up money for the initial animating process. They'll also take care of the costs that come from airing the show and distributing it to other countries. The actual animation studio will do the animating, obviously, along with paying staff and some other requirements beforehand. The studio and producers will assemble their team and get to work. Teams in anime typically consist of full-time employees or freelance animators and a few full-timers. You've probably heard of storyboarding. This is usually the first step in creating an anime. The director and some other people who specialize in storyboarding will put it all together and scriptwriters will create the script. More times than not, the studio will start animating way before the entire storyboard is done for a set episode, just because animation's hard and it's time consuming. There will be many rough sketches and other drawings before the animation's finalized that directors and other specialists will look over. They'll decide how the camera moves through a given scene and where the characters need to be positioned. Once that's all said and done, key animators will start drawing the characters with other younger animators filling in the gaps between keys by drawing the movement. Basically, a key animation is the drawing that sits on the screen, which is an important one because we take a lot of time looking at this. The newer animators draw the movement because we see these frames for a lot less time, so the quality doesn't really mean as much. There are some scenes in anime that probably use key animators drawing all the sequences just because every frame is important. The whole animating process is definitely the longest out of everything that goes into creating an anime. For some smaller studios, or for studios with newer animators, they could see many nights where employees sleep over at the building. Even with larger companies that animate, this concept is not foreign. Animating is ridiculously hard. So if you watch a beautiful anime, just remember how hard the animators worked on it. Back in the day, special background artists would watercolor paint the backgrounds for anime on an actual sheet of paper, but newer shows will usually digitally create their background with maybe a few exceptions. All drawing in anime gets revised before production and color, just to ensure quality and frame consistency. After the drawings are finalized and revised, color artists from a studio's coloring team digitalize, color, and clean up the animation. The process of coloring frames in anime proves to be a difficult task, much like animating the actual anime. They'll fill in the black, then skin, clothes, hair, eyes, then shade the whole character, and this process is repeated a lot. I'm sure they have ways to digitally color in an easier way that helps make it less monotonous. Once everything's animated and colored, an effects team will take hold of the anime and add little things that make a lot of difference in the end, like the shining of a sword or smoke on a cigar. The voice actors will then do their work, which can take a long time, but is probably the most fun part in producing anime. And after everything is revised and revised again and finalized, they'll set up a date for broadcast if said anime is airing on TV, or they'll just say a release date wherever it's being shown. Some animes and anime movies can take years to make, just depending on what the anime is and the requirements for animation quality. Animators have a really tough job, but they're creating some of the best works in history, so I hope all the work is worth what they get. Thanks for watching. That's a basic understanding of the animation process. Leave a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.